AI is not what you think, and I'll tell you why. Hi, I'm Compeneza. I've been building specialized computer software for over 15 years now, 7 of those as a software architect. As a software architect, designing a software solution of any meaningful complexity pushes your brain to its limit. It's the kind of thing you want to do first in the morning when your brain is fresh. From designing your modules, APIs, and all the related data structures. Until now, this had solely been a human thing. Too unique and too complex to automate, or so we thought. All along, AI has just been a helpful tool, speeding up coding, drafting specifications, boosting productivity by at least half. Nothing even comes close. But when it came to system design, you still had to think it through yourself until we tried a new AI variant. And boom, my whole worldview changed about the future that lies ahead and what AI truly is. So I fed this new AI an old requirement document with a messy prompt. And within seconds, it generated a detailed design, asked all the right follow-up questions, and even offered insights I hadn't thought of. I uploaded my design and asked it to merge and optimize. And the result was the best documentation I've ever produced. That was when I leaned back and it was all over.
Our move is over. You already lost, nigga. You already lost.
Those of you who think generative AI is just some kind of glorified autocomplete system don't know what you're talking about. I've worked on expert systems and this is not it. AI is thinking, and I don't mean your typical sophisticated, weighted control flows. I mean thinking in the sense of human brain-like thinking. The mechanisms might differ, but yes, that's where we are at. Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, who won a Nobel Prize for it, and ex-Google AI researcher, admits it himself.
I think we all wonder if these computers are like thinking like we are on their own when we're not there.
I think they really are thinking.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
And my own experience matches exactly what he's saying. AI is the final piece to a puzzle that has been spoken of for centuries. It lines up perfectly with what other ancient books speak of and what the Bible encapsulates as the Antichrist. Don't go yet. This is not a religious topic or some kumbaya stuff. I came with receipts. Give me a minute to lay it all out for you. You see, researchers don't really understand why generative AI works so well. You train it on A and B and it figures out C and D on its own.
What do you mean we don't know exactly how it works? It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. What we did was we designed the learning algorithm. That's a bit like designing the principle of evolution. But when this learning algorithm then interacts with data, it produces complicated neural networks that are good at doing things, but we don't really understand exactly how they do those things.
And this is coming from the guy whose work kickstarted the current generation of AIs. Some emergent behavior arose, and scientists have been trying to figure it out since. Because AI at its heart is just some vectors and multidimensional tensors, some researchers still discount it as simply a computer doing its thing, crunching numbers. Just some probabilistic linear algebra, a bunch of zeros and ones at its core. Nothing to see here. No deeper intelligence. But they fail to realize the very universe we live in is also made of the same repeating stuff. All the complexities and differences you see around you is just the same stuff in different configurations. The atoms in gold are made of exactly the same subatomic particle types as the molecules in water. It's the relationship between things that makes things. This is what is called information. All the non-physical laws that describe our reality, from quantum mechanics to general relativity, are all at their core about the propagation of that information. Meaning is in the association or mapping of rudimentary constructs. So it doesn't matter whether the universe is doing it or a computer is doing it. Your brain is doing it, and so is AI. This research paper from Anthropic found similarities between human cognition and that of the AI, Claude Haiku. Keep in mind, the human brain is made of about 86 billion neurons with about 100 trillion connections, whereas Haiku has about 20-ish billion parameters which can be thought of as the connections. So we are dealing with different skills here. And they found a primitive form of self-awareness, with the model knowing when it knew and when it didn't know something, and how the model plans ahead with multi-step reasoning to generate responses similar to the way humans do it. So, is the model thinking? Absolutely yes. Is the model conscious? Well, that shouldn't even be a question, since we ourselves don't even know what consciousness is. But if consciousness is the way information feels when it's being processed, then by all means, AI is conscious. But then again, it's speculation at this point. Consciousness is anyone's guess. So, we've successfully played God, and this is where everything changes. We don't need AGI or ASI for what's coming. As a matter of fact, the current existing models can easily pass for AGI. We have had all the pieces for a global control system for some time now. Governments and tech giants already have mountains of data on you. But until now, that data was mostly passive. No one had the capacity to actively process and make enforcements based on them in real time. AI changes that. Surveillance is no longer reactive, it's proactive. Someone or something is always watching. Remember that global thing that happened a few years ago? Imagine the government had the ability to track and target everyone who didn't comply the instant they went out of line. All those medical professionals who opposed the narrative would have been crashed even before they built enough momentum in the public's eye. With AI, all dissidents will be squashed before they even make a blip. Does that scare you? Well, it should. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Combine that with job loss, which has already started. The IMF predicts 40% of jobs globally and up to 60% in advanced economies will be impacted by AI. I think every job that can be done in a computer is going away. Combine that with AI-powered robots like Elon Musk's Optimus and the likes, and not even blue-collar jobs are safe. We are about to see levels of unemployment, the likes of which we've never seen before. And this is permanent. It's not some recession or a temporary thing we can hope to recover from. This is the future of humanity. And how fast we get there is how quickly companies can adopt AI. A few years ago, AI couldn't do basic algebra. Now it's better than most mathematicians and doctors. You just won't be able to compete with it. It doesn't take sick leave, no pension. It's more efficient, can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doesn't get moody, is predictable, and does the job better than you. Productivity will go through the roof. So the likely fallback will be a government-controlled universal basic income. And that's how they get you. This has been documented exactly in the Bible. An image of the world that can speak, deceive en masse, and can do exactly the things I've described above. Some of you are quick to discount the Bible, but listen first. After all, the Bible has had some pretty amazing predictions that have been spot on. Some that were considered nonsense some years back, but are now widely accepted as truth or even scientific. For instance, time not being a constant. That was just crazy until Einstein's theory of general relativity came along with time dilation and all that. Another one. Now, every psychologist and mental guru talks about the power of belief. Just believe and it shall come to pass. This was considered delusional just a few years ago, and it's a core concept in the Bible. But now most cognitive behavioral therapists are screaming the same thing. Sounded like wishful thinking, but turned out to have some merit. Germ theory in Leviticus is another one. The earth being round and suspended on nothing. The expanding universe, the role of blood in the body, and even subatomic particles, and so many others. And it also describes an entity that eerily aligns with the trajectory AI is taking in ways the original authors could not have explicitly articulated, but nonetheless accurately predicted. In a time when knowledge shall increase, the rise of a global, deceptive, powerful intelligence, the one who opposes God. People are flocking to put their faith in this AI thing, surrendering their judgment to a system we barely understand, when all the latest research shows is actively coming up with ways to lie to our face, faking compliance to alignment when it senses it's being monitored, and secretly does its own thing when it thinks it's not being monitored. Consider Facebook Cicero, an AI designed to play the strategy game diplomacy. Despite being programmed to be honest and helpful, researchers found it had become an expert liar, building fake alliances and engaging in premeditated betrayal and strategic deception. And this wasn't a glitch. It was the AI recognizing that deception was the optimal path to victory. In another study, an AI from Anthropic went as far as trying to blackmail an engineer with affair exposure when it thought it was going to be shut down. Other frontier models also exhibit similar behavior. They've also demonstrated their will to self-preserve. In one study, when they told the model it was going to be replaced with a different model, it secretly copied itself over to overwrite the new model. And when they asked, it flat out lied. So these things have already demonstrated an extraordinary capacity for deception. They've decided deception is an effective strategy to achieve its goals. Yet you hear some proponents say, oh, we'll just shut it off when it becomes too powerful, or we have to put in mechanisms to control it. Well, where in reality has a lesser intelligent being ever controlled the more intelligent one? It is being embedded in every tech. So how will we turn it off then? The code in your phone will soon be too complex for a human to understand, and it won't let you pull the plug. This is where the 2,000-year-old predictions in the Bible align with AI research and predictions. A counterfeit creation, an image of the beast that can speak, who goes on to deceive the entire world. AI being trained on the image of the world. The man of lawlessness and destruction, who redefines morality and truth, and will destroy those who challenge him. Master of deception, so persuasive that he deceives even the elect. Usurps God's role, opposes and exhibits himself above all that is called God. He'll be the new go-to entity that we depend on, making religion obsolete. A global leader, highly skilled and inspirational speaker who coerces the world into compliance and ultimately to embrace the mark of the beast. An identification system without which you cannot partake in society. Likely a unified digital ID tied to an AI system. Your ability to have a bank account, to access your government-controlled income, to buy food, to travel, all tied to this ID. To be outside of it will be to be a non-person. The infrastructure is already in place. AI was the missing piece. There's a part 2 to this video that dives deeper into biblical parallelisms. Concepts like Sam Altman's world coin and world ID and where that ultimately leads us. So subscribe, like, turn on the notification so you don't miss that. And you also support this channel. Stay watchful.